welcome back. Last week we looked at Power Over Fantastic, the song, and today we're going to look at Variations from Space. I hope you had time this week to practice a little bit of that concept of, making chords more interesting. It's been a week for you, it's been 2 minutes for me. I'm trying to make as many videos as I can and then slowly upload them to YouTube. I think that will be the easiest way to do it. And that way you don't have to wait too long to, to keep the videos coming. Now, for today, as you could see, I was playing just a little bit of the song, and it kind of goes in and out of the blues. If you actually look at some old videos, I had some of the licks that are they're more on Dorian scale. That way, try to keep the song interesting. This song is quite a few times actually. It's about 5 minutes of the same blues progression, and just repeats and repeats and repeats, just drums and bass. And there's only one guitar on top of the drums and bass. So the challenge was to keep everything interesting for as long as the song was, and so it's a mix of a bunch of modes and a bunch of different kinds of licks and ways to play. Very percussive sometimes, very melodic at others, and just check out the song if you want to, and you'll know what I mean. But for this video, we'll look at a way to make the blues scale sound a bit more. I wouldn't say jazzy, but a bit more melodic. The blues scale is usually very dissonant, which is what we love about it, because it's a minor scale played on top of major chords. But today we're going to use this note. This note is the major third of the chord. So if you think about it, a blues is built, let's take a blues in E, which is this one. It's built on 7th chords. So in the case of E, we'll be playing E, A, and B. And all these chords, all 3 of them, are 7th chords, which means they're major chords with a flat 7th. Okay, so that means it's a major chord and we're playing a minor scale on top of it. And that works great, and we won't get into why it works great, but it does. But it doesn't mean that we cannot play also notes that are part of the scale of the chord, right? So I mean, we play a minor scale and think, wow, we're lucky because it's a major chord and we're using a minor third in our scale, but it still works, so that's great. And it is, but nothing is keeping you from actually using also the notes that usually would work. Alright, we don't have to only stay in the notes that are miraculously working. We can actually use the ones that we know will work. And so the main one is the major third of the chord. We're just going to look at the first chord. If it's an E7, our pentatonic scale goes like this. And we're using a G, which is a minor third, but we can still play G sharp, because the chord has a G sharp, and so if the chord has a G sharp, of course you can play the G sharp as well. Can you mix it with the regular G? Well, of course you can. You can play all 3 of them. Well, both of them, the G and the G sharp. See, I'm playing the G and the G sharp, and it's no problem. I can play both of them. The G because it works as a scale, and the G sharp because it works comparatively with the chord, which is using the same G sharp. Alright, and so that's great. And the way it's played on this lick is really emphasizing, because I wanted to get out for a few seconds of the minor Dorian kind of sound, and before going back into the regular pentatonic, it's emphasizing the major third. And only at the end, I screw up a bit there, but only at the end I go back to G, and then use it to do some other weird stuff that's more in line with the Dorian mode. Okay, so I'm going to play slow for you from close up, and then you can see the tab and work it out for yourself. And also, of course, just keep this concept in mind whenever you play on a 7th chord. In a blues context, you can play the regular minor third and also use the major third because it belongs to the chord. You can do this actually for all 3 chords. So any one of the 3 chords of the blues, you go look for the 3rd note and you can play that note. Alright? So let me show it to you from close up. Okay, so it's very simple. Again, the purpose of this video is not just to show you the song, but to actually be presenting you stuff that you can actually use, you know, in many other contexts. And we all play the blues at one point or another. You know, that's the most basic thing you play when you jam with friends. Also, if you play rock or heavy metal or hard rock, you know, whatever it is you play, you need to know the blues, because that's where all this music is really borrowing from. And so, you know, just play with this, see where it takes you. And any chord progression you find, 1-4-5, blues scale, and blues scale with a major third. Alright? I'll see you next week then. Bye bye. Thanks.